So it's another in the middle of night update, and as I told you yesterday, or you watched the video from yesterday or day before yesterday even, I was going to talk about this, but as we a conversation I had with a priest, which I was two priests actually, which I thought was really interesting. But I changed my mind. I'm going to talk about that, but not today, because I realized that someone who might watch this, a certain person which might watch this, might feel not so good about it. I think even if it's not a personal thing or anything, I think maybe I should show a little bit more respect and not talk about that before I talk to that person about it, and make sure that it's not come out the wrong way, or at least give that person a chance to discuss it if he wants to talk about it. And if he doesn't want to, I can't do much about it, but at least I want to keep my back free, if you understand that expression. I think it's that Swedish expression, I'm not quite sure. But anyway, I mean, even if somebody's being awful to me, I don't need to be that back, right? So I can talk about this advanced calendar instead, because today we had a really awful day. I went to the hospital and saw the neurologist about myself and my left side, and it didn't. The outcome was absolutely nothing. I'm going to see a physical therapist, and then we're going to talk about how to proceed and so on. But actually said that I can't have this clogged veins as I think I had, because that is something you often have if you have my heart problem. But I said I can't have it because I'm too young. Like I'm almost 40. My aunt had this problem when she was like 48. It's like she was 9 years older than I am now. People in 20s get this problem, but okay, it wasn't my duty to talk today, so yeah. Hopefully it's gonna be better after seeing the physical therapist and gonna see the real doctor, because this wasn't the doctor I was supposed to see. It was just this sort of emergency call for it. And Ro had her MRI of stomach again, and normally, or at other times, she has been so patient and taking things so easy and so on. But today she didn't. She just screamed and screamed and screamed and screamed, and it was so awful. I had to hold her down because she had to be all still, and I couldn't do that, or I wasn't supposed to do that. I was standing beside and just watch them holding her down, and she was screaming for me, and it was I really hope that medication is doing what it should do, but so we never have to go through that again. She shouldn't have to go through that again. I feel so awful for her. I feel so bad for Ro. It's it's awful. And yeah, the good things today, because you're gonna focus on good things sometimes, is that I finished the advance calendars for my older kids, and I gave Anna hers, and she was so thrilled. I went to her place, and she babysat Ro, and I was at the hospital, and I went and got Ro for her doctor appointment. But Anna was so happy about it, and it was so wonderful to see my child so happy. And I'm going to show you that like this, because it's absolutely nothing. You will probably think it's absolutely nothing. You see those hanging on the door? Actually, it's hard to show, but this is how it looks. And this is just 8 packets, and that's for my other child. Ro won't have any because she's too young for it. But this is something I know my kids has wanted for such a long time. It's something we wanted when we were small kids, and the kids in their classes and so on had this, but they couldn't have it, and because I couldn't afford it. And the first year I actually could afford having it, I instead spent the money for a week-long trip to London with my girls, and I think that was the best thing I could do, because that was, more memories than advance calendar. And the year after that, I wasn't doing very well at all. It was when I was involved with this guy wasn't very nice, and all that fall, the end of that fall was absolutely horrifying, and I wasn't. Yeah, we got really nice gifts for Christmas instead, but I couldn't, put up the energy to really do anything. That fall, it was horrifying time in my life. Anyway, and the year after that, Ro was an infant, and as you know, she was really, really ill, and yeah, so I couldn't do anything by that time either. I was just home with her all the time, and I was also very ill with my heart. Even if I had the surgery in September, and then it was end of September, I was still not doing fine at all. So it was a rough time, and it wasn't, really the time to go out, buy things, and arrange this advance calendar for my kids. But this year I did, and it feels so good. It was really, really good, and I could see Nana's face. Even she's 20, this is something she longed for so long time. It's just, those nonsense things and those small things. But I mean, I think she understands when I gave her that I have seen her longing for it, and that I think it's the most important you can tell your children, that you see them, that you understand what they want, and do what you can to give them to it. And it's going to be an odd Christmas, I think, but a good one, I hope. Last year, if you watch this, if you followed this blog, you know that last year Ro was in the hospital right before Christmas. She was home for Christmas Eve, but had to go back to hospital in the morning of Christmas Day, so she spent most of her Christmas at hospital. And she got this, lamp that looks like a turtle and playing music from the hospital. It's really kind of fun. But anyway, I really, really hope that she doesn't have to go to hospital this year. That is my wish for Christmas. It's all I want for Christmas, that she will be okay. And but my kids gonna love Red Advents calendars. Thank you for watching.